Hi everyone, welcome back to another video of mine. This is actually the second time I'm recording this, and this should have came out much sooner. But the Fortuna update dropped, and this was all about mining gems. So the mining mechanics have actually been updated, in my opinion, for the better, and I'll explain them soon in just a moment. Okay, so what this video is actually about is about how to get the rare gems in the Plains of Eidolon. What I'm talking about is these two types here, the Radiance Sanitarum and the Heart Nymph. So far, I have gotten, as you can see, way more Heart Nymphs than I have I'll just call them pink and green. So I've got way more pink than I have green, and I have no idea why it's happened. Pink just seems to show up much more, and there is not really anything I know that you can do about it. Like I heard that certain types of gems spawn in the certain part of the Plains of Eidolon. Like on the very far right, there was the pink ones, and on the very far left, there was the green ones. But that is actually apparently not the case. Also, I've also heard like on the wiki, people were at first thinking that it might be related to the day and night cycle, but I'm pretty sure that's not the case either. Okay, so first off, obviously, you will want to go to the Plains of Eidolon. And let me just actually go back inside, because I totally forgot about something, and it's very, very important. You cannot actually get those green and pink gems, the rare ones, if you do not have this. And that is the Advanced Nulzem Cutter. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so first off, you go to Old Man Sumbat, which is the guy who's all about mining, and this is where you get your stuff from. You have to get up to, I'm pretty sure, the 3rd rank of reputation to get this as well, so you can't be just rank 1 and rank 2 with the Ostrons here. And what you have to do is first, of course, get the Nulzem Cutter, then go and get, well, you can actually skip the Focus Nulzem Cutter, but you need the Advanced Nulzem Cutter right here to actually go mining the gems. And also, as it says, this thing is actually enhanced with cybernetics as well, so it actually locates the gems on your map, and you don't have to listen to just the ping noise. I'll get to that as well. Basically, the ping noise is, think of this working a little like a metal detector. The closer you get to a gem, the louder and faster it starts beeping, and it won't beep at all if there's no gem nearby. Yeah, so you will need this to get the gems, period. If you do not have this, you cannot actually get the best kind of gems. Alright, now you know. Now that you know what you have to get, I'm actually going to go out into the plains and show you how you generally get mining. The good news is that even if you're like have a really low level warframe for whatever reason, like let's say you had just formed this, like let's say I just formed this Mirage Prime, which is not the case actually this time, or you just new at the game and have somehow gotten your Ostron reputation to be really, really high, or something like that, it actually is possible to go and get gems in some of the very early areas. In fact, just around here, let me just equip my cutter. Just around, right at the start of Cetus, you can actually find a few gems. Yeah, just don't worry about that screaming. That's a thing called Eidolon. It basically, think of a massive Godzilla-like monster that roams the plains, but it's really, really slow. Kind of like just huge pondering elephant, so you can really easily avoid it. Okay, so this is what I was talking about before with the beeping. And in fact, if you look at my mini-map, if I'm just going to bring up the map here, you can see as I move around, there is this that little white thing that my arrow is now pointing at. That's what I meant, where like it indicates where gems are for you. And if the little gem icon in your mini-map at the top left of the screen has an arrow icon, if the arrow is pointing down, it means the gem is currently below you, and if it's up, and if it's pointing upwards, it means it's currently above you. Okay, so what you used to do with this kind of thing is I'll just demonstrate. Let's say this here was a vein of ore. You would start off and you would start drilling like this, and you would kind of just carve a circular line around it, like so, and try and trace along these dotted lines to try and mine the gem. That's no longer the case, and in my opinion, it's improved for the better, because now what you do is you aim at one of these glowing points here, you hold down the fire button, and then you try and line it up here. And the more of these you get right, the better quality gems you get, and in my opinion, this is much easier to do. And the best thing about this is that it also, yeah, I failed that one, but it also gives you more rewards. And what I mean by that is that sometimes even the red veins, which normally only give you ore, by the way, they don't give you the actual gems you're looking for. Oh look, there's the Eidolon thing, Terrorist. Yeah, I found that even though it roars a lot, it generally can actually be kind of peaceful if you just leave it alone. Like, as you can see, it's just wandering the other way, and if I don't run up and shoot it, it actually won't attack you. So even though it can seem pretty terrifying, it's not really. Yeah, DE made it like in their trailer for the Plains Island, and that thing was way deadlier than it actually is. It's actually not the case. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying before, what I really love about this new gem mining update that got introduced with the Fortuna update, which has actually arrived as well, by the way. So, and I will cover stuff from that soon. So you can go to the Fortuna, which is like a Corpus ice tile set on Venus. It's kind of like the Plains of Eidolon, huge and open world-ish, and you can do lots of cool things there. And because of that update, they've now introduced like this new way of mining. And as I was saying before, sometimes while mining these ore veins, you will find one of these, I just call it hotspot indicators, like the thing that keeps moving back and forth. And you can find one of them, and it's much smaller than the rest, and kind of much more rectangular. If you mine one of those, then you sometimes have a chance of getting the, oh damn it. Hold on a minute while I put a cut in here while I defeat these things, because the way you defeat them is, really, got to do with a lot of spoilers. So, hold on for a minute. Okay, and I'm back. Defeated those annoying Romulus things, or whatever they're called. There's another type. Basically, there's a smaller offspring of that big monster thing I just talked about. And the way you actually beat them, it's, you get unlock it after finishing the War Within. It's a massive spoiler about the story and everything, so that's why I put the cut in there. And you can't actually defeat them if you haven't done the War Within, so the only way you can really actually get rid of those is run all the way to a Grenier camp, find the Eidolon lure, and let it kind of latch onto it and slowly deplete it of health. Yeah, so this right here is actually the type of ore vein you're looking for, a blue one. And whenever it makes that like loud, that nice jingle sound like it did just then, and whenever all your gems are full, and also another way of telling is when it does that kind of like whitish sparkle effect. That means that you've mined the vein perfectly. So yeah, if that happens, there's basically nothing you could have done wrong. Good job. And the gems you were getting there is the maximum amount you could have gotten. So I know in the past you sometimes could have gotten like maybe more than just 4 gems from a certain mineral formation. But don't feel bad in this case, because some mineral formations I found out have just a, well, shitty number of gems in them. Not all mineral veins are equal. Not all mineral veins have a really large amount of gems in them. Yeah, like with that one, it only had 3 Deshvar, whatever. Anyway. Oh yeah, there's the thing I'm talking about, an Eidolon lure. I'll try and get a little, I'll zoom in so you can see it better. You see those like Romulus things? The Grenier here are trying to shoot them, and this Eidolon lure will actually deplete this thing's health while it is near it. So all you have to, you can shoot it if you want, but I'm going to do that. And once you shoot them, these Romulus things, they turn bright blue, and then you can only kill them with the stuff that I basically said was spoilers. And it's kind of cute. It's going for a ride. Well, it would be cute if this thing wasn't trying to kill me. Yeah, so what you do is just shoot them, and then you leave them over here, and the second it goes near, this thing will suck it up, like some kind of killer vacuum cleaner. And that's how you defeat these annoying Romulus things. Which can also get kind of annoying, because sometimes they'll like, do stuff like this, where they stay up in the air and get stuck, and stuff like that. So if that ever happens, just shoot them in the air, and then eventually they'll turn blue like this, and when they're blue, the only option of attacking you they have is charging you, and then you can leave them kind of like leading a bull with a piece of cloth, like I've seen in some old western spaghetti movies. You can lead them to the Eidolon lure, and then, well, basically capture them. Alright, so normally I would have actually ended the video by now, because I've shown you how to mine minerals. It's really simple, but I'm going to show you a few locations that are excellent for mining minerals. Okay, so let me just bring up the map. So right here near Twin Horns is one of the locations, the caves, and I am also going to go inside the cave for one particular reason. To show you where some certain turrets are placed and how I usually defeat them. These are beginner tactics as well, so even if you're really new at the game, you can basically kill these turrets with the death by 1,000 cuts. If you don't know what that means, basically you attack the turret over and over and over and over again until it eventually dies, because once you're in an area like these caves and you destroy a turret, it won't respawn. You're pretty much safe. Yeah, you soon see what type of turret I'm talking about. Okay, so first off, there will usually be a couple of Grineer here. They're around about like level 20 to level 16, that kind of stuff. I know I'm defeating them really quickly here, but let's say you're just starting the game. Don't worry. All you really need is a MK1 Bratnet around level 20 with a couple of good mods in it, and you will be able to defeat those Grineer. If they do too much damage, just bring a friend or run backwards a little bit. Okay, so this is the first turret. Generally what you do, stand right behind this pillar here for protection. And then while you're doing that, just go up a tiny bit on the pillar, and then aim at the next turret over here. Now, those are defeated, you're almost safe in these caves. There is just one more turret you should watch out for, and it is actually kinda hidden. Well, not really, but it's right up there. But the thing is, what wants to happen to me is I was like right up here on this thing, and the turret was shooting me, and I had no idea where it was, and it killed me because, well, yeah, as I said, I had no idea where it was. So one of the ways you can actually kill it quite easily is get out your melee weapon, jump up there, and this thing has a horrible turning rate, so just, yeah, bamboozle it like you can see here. In fact, this is an excellent way to kill any of the turrets. Yes, I know I killed it kind of quickly again because my sword is kind of good, but you can have a level 1 Skana, and pretty much all starting warframes have the base movement speed, so you can kind of bamboozle the turrets like that. Just don't try and bamboozle a turret like this when it is not in an enclosed area like this cave or surrounded by Grineer, because they may kill you. Alright, another thing to watch out for is constantly this will happen while you're down here. These about like 4 or 5 Grineer will spawn usually when you're mining the minerals here. I've thought maybe it's not the case at one point, but then they nearly always come. This might be one of the few times that they're not here, but there nearly always is a couple of Grineer, and if you're low level, you should keep an eye out for them, because a shield lancer sometimes might appear, and shield lancers are a huge pain to deal with because they run up to you, charge you, and whack you with their shield, knock you on the floor, like they kind of displace you. And you might be thinking, oh well, Chief, that doesn't sound so bad. I have 4 lives. Yes, but let's say that happens to you 3 times. You could find some really rare Eidolon gems, like 3 times after the first. And if you die 4 times, and you don't have a buddy around to revive you, you will fail the mission. And if you fail a mission in the Plains of Eidolon, you will lose everything you collect, except a bit of XP gained, and some things, like you will keep credits, I'm pretty sure. But not Eidolon gems, which is what you came here to gather. Alright, so now I'm just basically making my way out of this cave. Oh. No idea how these things got in there, but I mean, I'll kill them and take their loot. Yeah, one thing that can happen that's kind of funny is those things, the Karinka or whatever, they can, I'll just call them space bunnies, since that's what they are. They're basically the space bunny will sometimes spawn inside cave systems or even run against rocks so hard that they explode and die. Don't ask me how they do that, they just do that. Oh dear! I forgot. These things, yeah, they're actually, they charge up after they've got enough of these little things in them, so I'm actually gonna have to just run away from this one. When I charge up, I mean, well, it's full. It's like a battery, you can't hold anymore. Yeah, don't worry, if you keep on running away from those little things, they eventually will stop following you, but they can be very annoying, because at night, they spawn all over the place. They're nearly always level 20, their bullets hit quite hard, and at a low level, you have literally no way to deal with them, except randomly running around and trying to find more Eidolon lures. Alright, so, moving on. In fact, let me just get out my Arcwing to make this trip quicker. That was one of the cave systems where it's very good to find ores. That was Twin Horns. Another one is actually just right down here. It's not really so much a cave system as it is just a good place to mine for ores. And in fact, I wouldn't even call this a cave system, and you'll see why pretty soon. Okay, so first step is obviously kill the Grineer, because you don't want to be mining and shot in the back with a massive chain gun like these ladies have. At moments like these, I really wish that you could actually, like, make peace with the factions, or at least they were bribable. Like, I wouldn't mind paying 1,000 credits, which actually is pretty much hardly anything, or maybe even more. Like, for the sake of this video, I wouldn't mind paying 10,000 to all these individual Grenier and just go like, hey, you didn't see any Tenno, right? You're gonna look the other way, right? And they'd be like, yeah, sure. I don't want to die. But no, Grenier are far too patriotic for that. They'll die for their country and their queens to kill you. Okay, so, as I was saying, this is, it. Yeah, I know, it's, really pathetic cave system. It's not really in the cave system, and sometimes ore spawns down here, sometimes it doesn't. Basically, you go down here, shoot the thing, come out, and if there's no ore, there's no ore. The place you're actually looking for ore is around the floor, and in general, places like this, on the bottom of rocks, and even in the ground, like so. Yeah, I'm actually, oh, see that thing there, this thing. Oh yes, I got it. So that was the extra thing I was talking about. And when you mine them, you get a. In fact, maybe I actually didn't get that. I couldn't tell. But when you get your I guess when you get into the when you bring up the. Sorry, I'm mumbling. When you start mining the ore and bring up all the hotspot things, as I said before, like getting into the I don't know if you can call it right rhythm, but yeah, basically getting within the zone here. If you get in one of those really small zones like you've seen before, as I explained before, they're the type that usually actually gets you the rare Eidolon gems. Like, if you get a successful mine in all the other spots and get one of them, you will sometimes get a rare Eidolon gem, but not from these red deposits. These red deposits, at the best, they can give you what the blue deposits give you, the actual gems, but otherwise, it's just ore. It's ore for days. So, one of the things that I've actually started doing is basically, let's say there was another ore deposit right here. One of the things I started doing is just to get rid of the red deposits from my map, since I mined so many of them and don't really care about them anymore. You just grab your mining tool and you swing it over both the places that you have to mine, and you basically get the poorest grade mine you can. But if you're like me and have so many ores that you don't even care, it's a great way to really quickly just get rid of the red ore or spawns instead of having to mine them all delicately. In fact, this is what I'm talking about. You see that there? Boom, mined. It's much, much quicker than going and bothering about all the individual, getting it all perfect and getting all the individual things perfect. And there's one great thing about the Vomiters, though. They kind of sometimes they act a little brain dead, so sometimes you can just walk past them, and that's especially the case if you've gotten really good at spy I spoke too soon. But as I was saying, if you've gotten really good at spy missions, you can potentially sneak past them even better, because spy missions are all about sneaking and that kind of stuff. Or even better, if you've got a stealth frame, like Loki or something. Alright, so this here is another one of the Grenier camps that is very good for mining. But when you're over at the camp, this thing here can actually attack you. The Medora turret. I just called it a mortar turret because that's what it is. It's a mortar turret. Also, the Grenier up here on the ramparts will attack you. And if they're all shooting you way too much, or you don't have high enough level weapons to really deal with them, then one of the things you can just do is you just start just sprint jumping and flipping and doing all that kind of like acrobatic stuff that I'm doing here. You get over here, and yes, even though I am killing the Grenier, just imagine that I was running away in fear from them and didn't want to fight them. What you can do is go in here, take a little, like, make sure that there's no one deeper into the mines like there is here. So you, of course, kill them quickly if possible. And then, if the Grenier are still following you, you actually just wait at the mine entrance right here and let them funnel in and kill them one by one. This is actually an excellent strategy. If in fact, I beat a really, I completed a kind of high-level 30 to 40 Grenier mission where you have to protect this thing here, this massive Grenier mobile cache with wheels. And I did that by just hiding in here, and it actually worked because the Grenier was so dedicated to killing me that they did not actually go after the cache. And it also, because it was a really high level, it had something ridiculous like 10,000 health and 4,000 shields, so they weren't really denting it much. And I could just stay in here and use all my abilities, like this one here. I could use prison to kill them. I basically chuck a disco ball. I'm going to use a Mirage Prime here. let it fly off, and then you can detonate it. And all those kind of abilities, like Exalted Blade, they're great for like killing Grineer when you funnel them into these places. Alright, so this cave system is a little bit similar to the other one, except you don't have to deal with any turrets. But as you can see here, you do have to deal with ramparts, which are these things here. And if you really don't like crewing the ramparts... Oh, I realized that the Grineer here are actually like around about level 30, so they may not be the best thing for you to go and fight if you're really low level like I was talking about before. But this might be actually not one of the best locations to go and mine for resources. But I mean, it wouldn't be so bad if you bring a friend who's really high level or something. So as I was saying before, once you've defeated the Grineer, and if you don't want to deal with the ramparts, you can just go behind it with any kind of melee weapon and just start meleeing it until it blows up. You always have to hit the backside of the rampart, because otherwise it won't actually damage it. Yeah, so that almost covers the entirety of this cave system. There's just one last part that I want to cover that's over here, and you can actually use it to get outside again as like a really quick exit, or even as a really quick entrance. Alright, so that's that part done. Now there's pretty much only 2 more locations that I want to show you that are really good for mining, and then that's pretty much it. So if I remember correctly, over here was just that old... Oh, okay, no, it's not. Okay, so over here is another cave system. It might be a little bit hard to find. In fact, I have trouble finding it sometimes, and I've been here a lot. So if I can't find it, I'm just going to put a cut in here quite soon, so I don't just take forever trying to look for this one single cave system. Oh, I was about to say it looks like that's happening, but no, I actually found it. So yeah, apparently, to find this cave system, disregard the map, because it says cave entrance is here when it's here. I don't remember which cave system exactly out of these, but there is one, and I will show you if I find it, but it's got this really weird section where it looks like you're outside, but it doesn't actually count you out as it going outside. And if you try and keep going along it, it will just reset you. Oh, also, since you can never tell what time of day it is out here, because obviously it's the cave system, duh, the developers have been nice enough to make it that you no longer get the magnetic proc when you jump in the water. What I mean by this is you see my energy down in the bottom right corner of the screen. Normally when hopping in water at night like this, the screen would go a little fuzzy, you'd hear this noise, and you'd basically get a bunch of your energy taken away because the water is like magnetic or something. I don't really know. It's kind of magical. Never really explained why it takes your energy away. It just does. But the developers have made it that it no longer does that, because you can never tell what time of day it is, while inside a cave system, which I really like. Alright, so that pretty much covers the easy to access cave locations. So another location that is actually really great for getting minerals at is along the shore of Gara Tot Lake. Just along the entire shore of that, just go along the entire thing, and there'll generally be a lot of rock formations. You go along those rock formations, and you can sometimes find gems. So I'm just flying over it now to give you a good look of what the area looks like. It generally looks like this. If you have an Arcwing, then you can easily get around here. If not, then just try and find the nearest doggy you can find, and hijack that, and use it to go around here. The ore generally doesn't spawn too much on the middle island right here that I'm currently shooting at, but it is a good place to go fishing. So if you wanted to go fishing, generally right there is a good place to, well, yeah, chuck in your spears and stuff. Anyway, moving on. Another place that is great to go get ore at, oddly enough that isn't even a mining zone, is this place. Hex Stiletto. And Stiletto, I'm pretty sure, is some kind of really small knife. And Heck obviously stands for Vayhek. I've covered him in previous videos. He's this super loud and obnoxious Grineer counselor. And, yeah, he generally is a huge pain in the butt for the Tenno to fight usually. kind of famous when it comes to the lore because of his large ham. And by large ham, I mean his delivery is just absurd, over the top. Like, you just shout really, really loudly, 10-0, 10-0, did you really think it was this easy? In fact, I'll put a link to the video in the description where he does that, so you can see what I mean, because I can't do his voice justice. It's just absurd. Yeah, so the things you generally have to fight in this camp is, of course, well, there's one of these Eidolon lures here for dispatching any of those annoying Romulus things. Then, as well as that, there's of course Grineer you have to deal with. They'll never generally be too high level, so you can deal with them quite easily. And then there's the mortar turret, like I destroyed before. And then there's this thing, the Vrush turret. This is actually an anti-air turret, and if you're in a Dargan, it's especially deadly because it does that. Yeah, you can see there, it shoots you out of your Archwing. But the thing is, when you're in your Archwing, it'll just shoot you straight out and not actually like really damage you too much, and you can just deploy another Archwing immediately because the developer is nice enough to make that all Archwing launches are infinite now. You don't have to build them constantly. But if you're in a Dargan, that thing will just that thing will just blow up the Dargan really easily because the Dargans have health bars and they will die. Yeah, also, these turrets are something you have to look out for. The reason why it's not really doing much damage to me at all because I got Mirage clones out. The enemies always aim at your clone for some reason. They're never smart enough to actually aim at you. Alright, so now that all the enemies are finally dead, you just pull out your mineral locator, and if you don't have this advanced one and you're just mining the no minerals, you listen for the ping noise and generally run along all these different little rock formations until you eventually find your little mining spot, like right here. Oh, and of course, there's two other things I need to cover about this camp that you could find very useful. First off, it's an excellent place to get this Grodokol stuff. Basically, it's a yellow Grineer alloy. You just get it by smashing those containers, and you need it for building a lot of Plains of Eidolon related weapons and other stuff. As a new player, you probably need to gather a lot of it, and you can get a decent amount of this camp right here. Then, of course, there's, as I already explained, these turrets that you have to watch out for, the Acolyte turrets. But then, as soon as I get to it, there's actually one other very useful thing that you can actually use to potentially camp this camp. And what I mean by that, well, camping, if you don't know already what it is, it's a general term in video games where you stay in one place and kind of wait there and hide and wait for enemies to come along and kill them. It's generally frowned upon in multiplayer games, but hey, Warframe is a mostly cooperative game, and you're camping against the AI, and the AI, well, it's computer-controlled graphics and pixels. It doesn't really have feelings. So, this is the thing I was talking about, this ammo dispenser. And it only takes 3 minutes, so if you are a patient person, or even if you run out of ammo and remember, hey, 3 minutes ago, I used this thing and it gave me ammo, you can come back here and activate it again. It's really, really good for getting rifle and pistol ammo, as you can see from the stuff that fell on the floor. In fact, I was watching the bottom of my screen, and I'm pretty sure I got over 100 rifle ammo for this thing, and it's the Zenith, and it's the kind of machine gun, as you've already seen. Fires really fast, so that is excellent. And yeah, this actually pretty much covers it for this video. That pretty much covers mining and how to get the rare gems. You pretty much need to know you need to know everything. And trust me, even though I did not find a rare gem, it's just all RNG based, so it's all luck based. Some days you have a good mine, you get 4 gems in a row. Some days you have a terrible mine like this one, because I wasn't really mining that much and just showing you the general locations, and you won't get any. Just keep at it, and if everything gets really, really frustrating, I'm going to link a trading site in the description called warframe.market, and I use that generally to base prices and stuff. You can just look up the gems, what they're called, and then look for buyers on the site. And either use the site to find buyers, or just post that you want to buy it in trade chat, and then in fact, I actually recommend trading other stuff for platinum and using platinum to buy the gems if you hate mining, or you've mined way too much and it's getting on your nerves. So yeah, that pretty much covers it for this video. I hope it was informative, and I hope you enjoyed it.